Welcome to Nickel City Chronicles. I'm here with my brother, Scott, and our guest today is Steve Antholzner. My boy.
That's me.
What's going on, man?
What's going on?
What's up, Steve?
How's it going, boys? It's been years since I've seen you.
It's been a little while, man.
It's been a little while.
So you're in the comedy realm, man, and you've done stand up. You've been around. You traveled. You went to the West Coast. Why don't you give us a little backstory about where you're at, where you came from, where you're going, all that?
So, first of all, you pronounced my name wrong. It's,
I thought you practiced before.
I thought I had
No. Listen. No, there's a story behind it. So, I fucking have my whole life been fucking Americanized by my family.
Yeah.
Who fucking always said Antholzner, right? So it's just like that's the American version of my last name.
Okay.
So I went to El Salvador 4 years ago, and just my buddy was all up and down fucking wherever. He was all up and down everywhere, and I went and visited him for 2 weeks, and I met this 19-year-old German kid, and I was just like, dude, what is like? This is my last name. Like, what's it in German? This kid was so smart, dude. He was in school. He could speak 5 languages fluently because he learned it from a child, like Greek, Latin, all this stuff. Like this kid was
I always
so.
find that so brilliant.
Like, it's crazy, but they have to learn. Like that's a part of their curriculum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just normal.
Oh, it's just which is awesome because it's like, dude, I wish I could speak Spanish. Do you know how many Spanish people are on the job that I've worked on, and you know how many other people, like, you know what I mean? I wish I spoke fluent just to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Which Google has that thing where you put it around your neck and it can translate for you, which is so sick. But
so what do you say about your name?
That is creepy. So I was just like, how do you actually pronounce my name? And he's just like, when he said it, it was so intense. He's just like, your last name's pronounced Antholzner, and but when he said it, yeah, exactly. Doesn't that sound way better than Antholzner?
It almost sounds like Heil Hitler.
That's what, right. It's just like, but when he said it just like that. He was just like, he was like Antholzner, and it was just like, he didn't take a breath. He was just like Antholzner, and I was just like, that's German AF, like, dude, that's crazy, right? And then like I was at, and there's like, there's an Antholzner Valley or an Antholzner Valley in Germany.
Well, you know what's crazy? We're German, and our our grandfather, my mom's dad, his last name is Laufer, which is there's a city in Germany called Laufer.
Yeah, which is so
which
cool.
Is so great.
I thought that was Polish.
No, it's German.
I always thought that was Polish.
It's actually Ashkenazi.
I'm Polish too.
It's actually an Ashkenazi city. The whole city was
Ashkenazi.
The whole city was Jewish speaking.
Wow.
So if you see the name Laufer with 2 F's, it's German. Because in Hebrew, there's no double consonants. So if you see the word Laufer with 1 F, it means it's probably, not always, but most likely Jewish origin.
I feel like he sent me this in a message before, like in a long message telling
like,
me, detailing me, and I just kind of
you're just like, whatever.
Well, I was going to say, there's a probably, your last name almost sounds like an Ashkenazi name a little bit.
I mean, I don't know what Ashkenazi means, but I mean, whatever. I got to look. I know.
I'll tell you. Ashkenazi is a word that describes migrant Jews who came from. So let's start in the beginning. So Israel got conquered in 500 BC. It's a long time ago, right? By Nebuchadnezzar. So he recirculates the Jews back to Persia and Babylon and in the north. And over time, over centuries and millennia, they migrated slowly through the Caucasus Mountains into Armenia, around to modern day Crimea, through the Black Sea region, and then settled by the 9th, 10th century. They settled in Poland and Germany, and that's why there's so many German and Polish Jews. I mean, we all know that. We all know what happened in World War II. Yeah. But they call them Ashkenazi Jews. It's actually a term.
Why is it Ashkenazi?
Because there's
Why is it Ashkenazi?
Here's why. The word Ashkenaz comes from the Torah. where one of the
okay.
sons of
Okay.
one of the sons of the three of Noah was his grandson's name was Ashkenaz.
Do you know that the swastika is actually from the Buddhist?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
it means
peace and love.
Yes, exactly.
Oh
How
my
crazy
God.
is
So
that?
crazy, yeah.
How crazy
And
is that?
one of my favorite mangas, they actually had a symbol that kind of resembled it a little too much, swastika, so they had to switch it entirely. And it was like a really big symbol of this, like,
I actually
It's a swastika except for tilted.
It's tilted, right.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's flat like a square, and then it's got dots in each of the four corners, and it literally means peace and love, but it also means like the enlightened one or something
Right.
like that,
Yeah.
which is nuts because it's just like
the
it
total
also
opposite of Hitler.
means Some pretty fucked
Yeah,
up shit.
Total
exactly,
opposite. And the
exactly.
funny part about it is Hitler was so obsessed with occultism and ancient history, and
oh, dude,
he
all that.
yeah he came up with this theory that the Aryan race was like this master race that came down from I think they thought it was like aliens that came down or something.
Bro,
Don't quote me on that. I've heard that before. Now Hitler.
Yo, all I'm saying is I've watched documentaries that said that Hitler literally got learned his technology from like the H2,
yeah.
like all this stuff from aliens.
It's
like
fascinating.
he learned how to teleport. Apparently,
Yeah.
apparently Hitler never died and he fucking teleported to.
Right.
You know, like, dude, there's so many conspiracy theories about it, but they say that Hitler got all of his like super, like they said he was 10 years ahead of his time,
Right.
and he got all his info from aliens.
Or
Right.
maybe he just
Well,
tried
But
to
then,
teleport.
but then we come around with the H bomb and we fucking destroy him.
Right.
And it's just like,
Well,
it's
the ironic part is like the whole Aryan thing, where he came from. What the idea from that was there's a root race of, they're called the Proto-Indo-Europeans, and they lived in the actually we were just talking about the Caucasus Mountains area,
yeah,
and the Black Sea ended up when the ice age, after the ice age, when the poles melted, all this salt water from the oceans poured into the Black Sea, and it was no longer habitable to drink that water. So they had to migrate in the north, and they went into India. So the Indians are closely related to the Germans, and that's why there's the whole Aryan thing. It has nothing to do with master races or anything like that.
Yeah.
That was all just added by some crazy Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that he had right was there is a direct relationship between the people of India and the people of Germany, and their languages are so in common. Like the word pater and the word father, both they say pater in India for the word for dad. In Germany it's father. Like you could see all the similarities, like how they, you know what I'm saying?
They also say a lot of English comes from German.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yep. High German. That's what they call it. And then they adopted the Latin alphabet when which king was it? I forgot which king it was. King Alfred.
Wow.
King Alfred. He adopted the English our Latin alphabet, and that's why our A through Z is exactly the same as Latin.
Yeah. Everything
Wow.
derives from Latin.
Everything.
All right.
Yep.
There's a
Little
little Hitler history.
Little Hitler.
Yeah, right.
Little history about Hitler that I never knew. I never knew some of this.
All because he said
Maybe
neo-Nazi,
after you're talking
whatever.
about the space stuff, like he probably like tried to like teleport and he just completely melted himself. and maybe that's why there's no body.
That would definitely be like the definition.
And they're
of
just like, let's
irony,
cover it up.
I
Let's
don't
say
know,
that
it's
he
just
took some
like-
poison with his
Yeah,
girl. Like,
right?
I know he already tried to zap her too,
Yeah,
and she's melted.
Yeah,
But let's stop zapping people.
yeah, right.
I hope he got zapped to oblivion.
I mean, of course.
You know?
He's the.
You guys ever heard of the Hitler theory?
Do you
in
think Hitler was
psychology?
the worst person of
Have
all
you ever
time?
heard
No.
the Hitler?
No.
Dude, there's so many.
Have
There's
you guys ever heard the Hitler theory?
No,
about
what's that?
whether if you had the opportunity to go back in time and kill Hitler while he was a baby, but you will be known as a child murderer and your legacy will die right there as a
I would do
child
it.
murderer.
Well, I mean,
Or-
You're
but-
stopping all those millions of
Yeah.
Jews from dying, all those Polish Jews
Yeah,
from
but
dying.
you're
it's,
also
it's the
you're
dead
also-
zone question actually is what it's called. The dead zone question.
Yeah, but
Would like say for example you knew Donald Trump was gonna set a bunch of nukes off?
yeah.
Would you
yeah.
would you do that? Would you tarnish your own legacy to save millions of
course.
people? Yeah, I mean that's an obvious
I
yes.
would.
Some people though, if you ask them honestly, they'd probably say no because
No,
let's just
I
have
would-
history play out the way it's supposed
That's
to.
what I'm saying. Like I would say I'm like 100.
'Cause you're a child murderer.
100. Well, yeah, you're a child murderer, but like also, you're a child murderer, but you're stopping all this.
Yeah, I mean I would
You're
do it.
stopping
I would do.
millions of
I would
murder.
kill the baby very fast.
the baby.
I would kill that baby.
We talking kid or
Hitler
we talking
baby.
Hitler baby in
infant.
the cradle.
Yes.
In the cradle.
But that's
Yes.
that's
okay,
why,
so
that's
how you
why I
gonna
was asking.
how you gonna do it?
But that's what That's why I was asking. Do you think Hitler was the worst human being that
No.
ever lived?
Bro, Hitler was the Third Reich, dude. That means there was 2 before him. Seriously.
Yeah,
If
but
you-
did the first 2 Reichs kill off
it
millions
was like
of
the
Jews?
Byzantine. I don't know what the first 2 Reichs are, but
Byzantines.
look them up. They were like, it was honestly, they were
I think
empires
he's up to
that
there.
crushed and murdered
Yeah, no.
people. Like,
Otto von Bismarck was the first one in
Okay.
the late 1800s.
yeah, but we're talking about, okay, what about the Rome Empire? What about all these empires that conquered the world? What
Yeah.
do you think they did to those people? They murdered them and enslaved
Yeah.
them.
You know what's
Yeah.
crazy? Is
They
the
did
victor.
the insane
We were
thing.
just talking about this in two podcasts ago. What I did with Jamal Dabney. The victor writes history. If Hitler would have won, who knows what they would have said about him? Oh, he saved the world from all these evil.
because we'd all be speaking German. And
Exactly.
and he was a terrible human. Like he was literally trying to control the world.
Right. But
Yeah.
exactly.
So how
but
could
listen,
you possibly say good things about him
but
unless
hear,
you were
hear,
forced?
hear me out.
Like,
Julius
don't
Caesar
say good
conquered
things
the
about
world.
him.
Alexander the Great conquered the world. And Genghis Khan conquered the world.
Yeah.
And they didn't get killed in a bunker. And we say good things about them. They were great
But
conquerors.
back then, it was just like
Yeah, I'm
they
sure
were
there's some
great.
shady stuff, but
yeah,
we
exactly.
know.
But back then,
Here-
like they were great conquerors. But to who? Who wrote that history?
The winner.
Yeah, I don't think it really
You know?
matters. Though. I
Exactly,
think that the
so-
fact that we know and it was that it
with
wasn't
Hit-
that
and
long
with,
ago.
With
It wasn't.
Hitler, there was so much media on it and all that
Yeah,
other
it
stuff.
wasn't that long ago. I
No,
think he
no,
takes.
no.
I think he takes the victor for biggest douche ever.
No,
to live.
no,
Really?
and
I
I'm
really
not
do.
saying-
I think he does.
And hold on a second. Let me clear something up. I'm not saying that he has he was good at all. I'm saying
course
if he
not.
would have been successful in conquering the planet, do you think that he would have controlled the media and the education
No.
system?
I think
to
that-
make
I
himself
think-
look good?
Disgusting.
I
human.
think that
No.
if
People would know he sucks.
First of all, I
Yes.
think that
I agree with that.
First of all, I think that America, no matter how hard Hitler tried, would never ever back down. First of all,
Yeah,
Hitler would conquer the world before he even touched America.
yeah.
And then
We all have our guns here.
unless he had everyone in the world to to agree to his BS, then I don't think Hitler would ever. I don't think Hitler has the you know what I mean? It's just like
Let's just be happy everything happened the way
yeah,
it did.
right.
Okay?
It's just like I don't think it would ever be.
I don't like
possible.
the whole like, oh, if he would have won, we'd
Yeah,
all be speaking German. I
It's
just
just
like he didn't win. You
Yeah,
know?
he didn't win.
We know he killed millions and millions of
Yeah.
people by torture and slaughter, and we
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
we
but is it-
saw it with our own
Are you
eyes.
sure though, dude? Because I have heard that the Holocaust was.
Oh my!
Yeah, there's a bunch of those conspiracy
You
theories.
really got me.
Yeah.
dude. You really.
You're
did.
like, yo, this kid really
Yo,
believes
I
this.
was
Listen.
about to punch
Yeah.
you.
Listen,
dude.
you'll
Yo,
hear.
when people
I was
say
like,
that,
wait
it's
a
like,
minute, what?
Yeah,
Yo,
exactly.
you hear people say that. It's the same people that say the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
That Hitler
That-
or
those are just
that Hillary Clinton is an alien reptile. You hear all that.
those
stuff.
are
That's
fun.
true.
Those
That's
are
true.
fun.
That
That's
part's
true.
it.
Those
That
are
part's
fun.
true.
Those
Yeah,
ones
yeah.
are fun. The
She's
reptile ones are
Listen,
actually fun.
I
She's definitely
I respect those topics. Because they're so entertaining,
Yeah.
and we know there's completely ridiculous.
But I mean, Hillary
But
Clinton.
who?
you know what I'm saying?
So, dude, what happened? How did you get into comedy? I remember, bro, you were in high school. You were always hilarious. You always had you were the class clown a little bit.
Stood up in the fucking cafeteria and tried to start a revolution. Like I don't even know. Literally, like I tried to start a riot, and Conrad, my rugby coach,
Fuck
pulled
that
me down
guy.
off the table, and he's like, "Listen, motherfucker!" Like literally, like was just like, "Listen, motherfucker! If you think you're gonna pull," and I didn't know because he was
He would have done that too. I know
because
the guy.
he wasn't my lunch guy, and Hitler.
And Hitler was
And
there.
Literally, Conrad. no, he's a great guy.
Some
He was a great
parallels
guy.
to
Yeah,
it,
right. Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
a little bit.
He's a great guy. I mean, what is he like? Like he's not mayor, but like he's up there in the.
Faldney with a
Pa-
63.
politics,
I
like
don't
local
think he's a
politics.
good guy. That's it.
But either way, so Conrad like ripped me down. Was just like, you ain't doing this in my, you know what I mean? Like he was my coach, and he's like, I don't think so, but.
Yeah.
So either way, I don't know where fucking Conrad came up, but so honestly, I got into comedy because, to tell you the truth, like I got a paper route and it was my brother's, and like I always looked up to my brother, so like whatever it was, hockey. I didn't even like hockey, like, and I loved hockey because my brother loved hockey. Like
Yeah.
I looked up like everything that I have to. My passions in life I owe to my brother and my dad because like I'm more, I was in Boy Scouts and all that, so it's just like he taught me how to survive, and like really like, the things that a man should learn, you know what I'm saying? But like my brother, on the other hand, like he brought me into all the culture that I started to follow. So he was a part of like that Columbia music thing, and he would buy CDs, like hundreds of them, right? And then it's just like, oh, you owe $50, and then all of a sudden they like, oh, you owe $200, and it's just like, how did I go from paying 10 cents a CD? It's just like it's Ponzi scheme, whatever.
Right.
They're all different, So my brother had like literally, like you got one of those like computer desks, like the whole thing was full of comedy CDs. So I would steal my brother's comedy CDs, and I would go do my paper route, and I was stealing Andrew Dice Clay,
Classic.
Sam Kinison, George Carlin.
Those are the best three.
George Carlin
and Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. The guy. Oh, he passed away. Guy with glasses. He died from cancer.
Guy with glasses died from cancer.
Bill Murr. No, not Bill Murr. Bill. Oh, what is his name? I can't think of it. But either way, he was another one. Like he was like one of those guys that was like political in like a way that was just like fuck the system, but at the same time it's just like it wasn't, you know how people can get political and it's just like
boring,
or like he was good about it.
George
funny. Carlin was
George Carlin was the greatest.
It's just one more way of reducing your liberty and reminding you that they can fuck with you anytime they want, as long as you put up with it. As long as you put up with it. Which means, of course, anytime they want. Because that's what Americans do now. They're always willing to trade away a little of their freedom in exchange for the feeling, the illusion of security.
That's what started it was me literally stealing, because my mom, dude, I was 13 years old, and I'm listening to CDs. Andrew Dice Clay, literally,
great, dude.
He's great, but he's the most misogynistic
person
in the world.
He would never last today.
Oh, dude, that's the thing. That's the
Bill
crazy...
Hicks. Bill Hicks.
Yeah.
Bill Hicks.
Yes.
Okay, good
That
call.
was
Good call.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, he was a legend too.
Oh, dude, So
yo, you ever hear his bit about this is your brain on drugs?
Yeah,
I
also
think so.
Where he talks about the commercial.
He had some pretty
yeah. He's just like, and he's talking about the fried egg, and he's just like saying like
He's like, you were Ben High before? It's not like that at all. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, right? Yeah. No, Bill Hicks started, I don't know if you knew this, but Bill Hicks started comedy when he was like, I think like 13 or 14. And then he like was, or I don't know how, it was, 14 to, it was young. And then he got like, started to like really get to be like something for his age. And then he became a huge alcoholic.
Yeah.
Really
and then
bad.
ruined his career.
Yep.
And then stopped drinking and then came back
Right.
and was back in his it was like his mid-20s, and he literally like paved the way for comedy, in my opinion.
Yeah, no,
like
he's great.
these people, like, they
speak your mind comedy.
Yeah.
I remember.
Exactly.
I remember a bit by Bill Hicks. He was talking about. He's like, I used to get high and I used to be an alcoholic or an addict.
Yeah.
He's like, and I got clean. And he's like, and I can tell you that shit was great. He's like,
I used to take drugs and I quit, but I'll tell you something. I have nothing against drugs whatsoever. That's kind of weird, huh? You never heard that one? Used to take drugs, quit, and have nothing against them. Wow, never heard that. Let's hear more. Okay. I'll tell you something else. I know this is not a very popular idea. You don't hear it very often anymore, but it's the truth. I have taken drugs before, and I had a real good time.
you don't hear that much often. Usually you hear people recover and they want to tell you how bad it was.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, I'm here to tell you how great it was.
Yeah, and then you got like Sam, and the best part, Robin Williams was another one.
He was amazing.
Yeah, and then you got Sam Kinison sitting there screaming about cocaine and all this other stuff, and then it's just like, you look into this guy and you watch a documentary on it, and he was a preacher.
Yes.
Like his dad was a diehard preacher.
Yeah, and
I
so was
saw the
he.
Grew up
documentary.
preaching.
Yeah.
And he was doing comedy and still doing on the side until like
Christianity,
he went,
right.
Yeah. But he said that like up until he died, he did like guest services and he still preached.
Oh yeah, he was a believer his whole life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like his dad raised him, I don't know if it was Catholic or whatever.
Church,
but
just regular Christian.
Yeah.
I don't think it was Catholic. No way.
No, whatever it was,
Yeah.
but it was his, like, he was a preacher,
Yeah.
and that's how he became a public speaker.
But that's
and
the
then
thing
into
about
comedy.
comics. They're all fascinating people. They're
Oh,
all
yeah.
No comic is a replicate of another comic, and if it is, they're probably trash.
Oh no! If you're, you got like who is it?
They're all the originals are the best.
Who is it? That Joe Rogan called out Carlos Mencia.
Carlos Mencia.
Yeah, it's like, and Dane Cook got called out for a joke, but I mean, people get called out for jokes, but then also it's just like sometimes you hear things and it just becomes a part of your mind, and then you twist it.
Yeah.
And then it becomes your own, but you don't even.
No, I
think.
get that. I get that.
I've heard things and I write things, and I'm just like, yo, this is so good. Have I heard this before? Like in my mind, I'm like, this is too good. Like, there's no way I came up with this myself.
I remember when I was a kid, I'd watch like Jamie Foxx, right? And I would like literally replicate everything he said in school the next day and act like I was the one that made it up. Like, I always thought he was so funny. He'd always be like, oh, African drive-by.
But that's an interesting topic, though.
And I was like, I made that. I thought I was so funny because I said that in class, and everyone started laughing. I was like,
I met a friend.
But you know what, though? I was going to say that's such an interesting thing because we're at the point now where there's been so much comedy. There's so many hours and hours of bits that you almost can't think of something that's completely 100% original anymore.
But that comes
You're
with
gonna
everything.
have an influence
that comes
with something.
Everything. We've all been influenced by everything, and that comes down to. I just read an article about how Dr. Dre was like his favorite rock band is Nirvana, and like he literally was in the new HBO documentary. He's literally like in the Bahamas, and Nirvana's in the background, and he's just like, I fucking love this, like a fanboy, like I love this shit, like he's just like rocking out to it, and it's just like. But
there's a fine line between stealing jokes and actually getting influenced and making it your own.
Oh, 100%.
And having it come from your own worldview and your own experience.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, but then again, like, okay, so any comic that emulates another comic, if someone specifically rips off someone else's style,
like Carlos Mencia.
Yeah, but there's others. There's others out there that have been caught.
I heard Amy Schumer does it too. I don't know.
I've heard that she's taking jokes too. But like, you know, a lot of them that get caught or that get accused are younger, taking from older comics, like people, Louis C.K. before he was chastised and all that. But like, you know what I'm saying?
It's weird shit.
If you think about it, in my mind, it's like some of the when these people are saying like I didn't steal that joke. In my mind, I agree with that person, unless it's like a
completely rip off.
When you're just like, dude, this is 100% a rip off.
Yeah, like I did when I was in 6th grade.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally,
Yo,
word for word.
I met this kid sophomore year, and he was blasting every Dane Cook joke, and I never heard Dane Cook, right?
So you thought he was a genius.
Yo, he in his head he was like, I thought I was the Burger King. When I heard that, I laughed so hard. He did it like perfectly, right? Never heard Dane Cook. 3 years later. In school, I'm on a cross-country trip, and someone's like, yo, Dane Cook, you ever heard of him? I listened to the entire CD, and I'm like, this motherfucker ripped off every joke, and I thought
he was funny.
I thought he was the funniest kid in the world. I thought this kid was, I was like, bro, you need to do stand-up. Like, you know, so.
That's the thing about, you ever heard of the Comedy Store out in L.A. that
100%.
Joe Rogan used to be a part of? I think he just left, though, but they figured out a way to, because Joe Rogan and his friends, like Bill Burr and all them, they realized that some jokes can be delivered better by certain people.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So they figured out a way to come together, almost like a comedy socialism type
that's
thing.
what I want to start.
They work together and like, oh, I got this joke, but you would probably be better saying it because you the way you talk. So they get together and they come up with these bits together, and it's all of them are geniuses.
That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do is I want to get a crew of my friends. Like 5 people, and I want to go on tour with them.
That's a good idea.
Because like Paul, like Joe Mueller, like I've got friends that have all written stand up, and it's just like
a lot of good comedians around here.
Yeah, and it's just like if I could convince them to try to like go on tour, if we can together fill an hour and a half, because that's all you need.
That's all you need
for a crew, and if you've got 5 comedians, that's 20 minutes a comedian.
That's it.
And then if let's just say because I have hours, let's just say I headline because it's my tour and I do a half hour, and then because they always say, like, I watched a Jerry Springer thing on the Jerry Springer documentary, where he was going out there for the first time because when he quit comedy, like he quit for a couple of years, and it was like the first time. It was actually like years, like 10 years or something like that, I think. And when he came back for the first time, this other guy was going on, and he was just like. He's like, yeah, I'm trying all new material. And Jerry's just like, you got some balls, dude. Like, he's like, I'll go out and I'll tell jokes, but like, I'll work in new material. He's just like, I won't tell a new joke until I know the crowd's good. Like, And that's Jerry Springer, like the king of comedy, saying like he's got like envy to this guy, saying like, you know, I mean, he was, I don't know, he was all right, but he was like, you know,
Yeah.
Jerry
Yeah,
and out there and
that's-
killed it. You
It's
know.
hard. I actually did it
Oh,
once.
oh,
I
you
did.
did?
I did an open mic, and I did it all off the top of my head,
Really?
which was
Did it
not
go
a good
well or
idea.
no?
It did go pretty well. It went pretty well, but
Yeah.
there was a point where no one laughed, and I remember thinking to myself,
The
like,
feeling, your thought.
"Oh
yeah.
my god!" So I
Yeah.
just like told like a dick joke really
Oh,
quick,
dude.
and
Oh,
it
dude,
hit. You know,
it's-
Well, Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan was talking about how,
But it's hard.
Getting bombed or bombing could be the best thing that ever happened to you
Because you learn.
it
Yeah.
kills your ego, and
Yeah,
you need that.
that's
death.
the thing, is
You
it
need
kills
that
your ego.
ego death.
But that's ego death. But that's the biggest thing for me is like I want to go on for like he said he went on and it like went semi well or whatever.
it went good.
I wanna,
they
like-
laughed. That's
yeah,
all that really
oh, yeah,
mattered.
yeah, yeah,
You know
that
what I
is
mean?
all
I
that
got him to
really
laugh when I
matters.
was telling jokes. You
But,
know?
like-
I was like, I'm never doing that again.
Like
That
for
was
me, like
terrifying.
for me, like the first time I want to do it is at Helium, and I want like to kill it. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
just so that like my first
Dude.
experience. But even if I bomb and then like you get some laughter and you get that high because it's a totally different like because
Oh,
I get that when I'm in a crew of people.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
like
you know
people
what I mean?
laugh like at stupid shit more
Oh,
than you
yeah,
think.
dude.
Like I remember being up there and waiting to tell like a punchline, and people were already laughing.
Oh, yeah,
at, like,
100%.
shit I was
And,
saying.
dude,
I was
because
like,
they're in that comedy realm.
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
you're sitting
yeah,
down, you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
ready to
but
laugh.
I was
You're
in
with your
like
friends.
I was in like a all new people thing, so it seemed like it was a very supportive crowd almost. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it was a really cool experience, and I would never trade it. That was super fun.
What's that comic's name that was played by Jim Carrey? We were just talking about him a couple days.
Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman would just stand there and people would laugh at him.
He would do.
No,
He would
Andy
do anything
Kaufman-
he
His,
wanted.
he was so funny
Andy Kaufman
without even trying.
was
He would try to get any reaction.
first of all,
Yeah.
Andy Kaufman was
Genius.
another genius, but this man, the fact that I don't know if you know like everything that he did,
Yeah.
but
a little bit.
okay, so he went on. I don't know if it was his first presentation, but he went on SNL or not SNL. It was like
Hacks.
Johnny
One
Carson
of those
or
late
something.
night shows, yeah.
And he literally stood there, and it was just like he played the Mighty Mouse theme, and it was just like, here he comes to save the day, and then he was like, Mighty Mouse is on his way, and then he stood there awkwardly like Andy Kaufman does, and that's all he did was sing Mighty Mouse is on his way. That was his first. I'm pretty sure it was his first appearance on like late night.
Wow.
That's all he did.
And
That became huge. And then he started doing other things. But then he started doing crazy shit because like everyone was just like, okay, this guy's going to come and he's going to kill it. He's going to be so funny. He went into shows and he would literally sit there and read chapters of Grapes of Wrath
Yeah.
to a whole auditorium, and people would be pissed off being like yo, like
I
just-
wasted my money.
Well, that's what he wanted. He wanted different
wanted-
reactions.
he
He wanted to see
wanted to
how he can rub people the
100%
wrong
be
way.
original,
He
100%.
would
You don't
be
know
a
who you're
different
gonna
person.
Get. You don't know who you're gonna
He
get.
would, no, he would literally dress up as another human being. I forgot
Tony,
the guy's name. Tony something.
Oh my gosh, dude! But
Type it in the comments if you know.
because I just
He would
what's it
not-
called?
he
I
would-
just
he would
watched the
literally
Jim Carrey
be
documentary
What is it called?
on
Method
him
acting.
playing that character.
Yeah,
that's the watch that documentary.
He would
Yeah.
stay completely
Seriously.
method acting.
Well, even the Jim Carrey movie about
yeah,
him.
Jim Carrey was
nailed it.
Jim Carrey was method acting the whole time because
Jim Carrey's amazing.
he
at
want. Oh yeah,
comedian, too.
100%. And that's another thing is like they say like if you can do comedy, you can do anything. And like
That's
literally like Jim Carrey started out as a comedian. This is crazy. Jim Carrey, he was always doing stuff because like his dad was funny and like he was always trying to make the whole family laugh, right? Well, it was maybe 3 months to 8 months to a year. Jim Carrey went to like a psychic. It was like a street vendor. Went to a psychic and she told him, she goes, "You're gonna do very big things, and you're gonna have," and he says this on camera, "You're gonna have like 3 things happen in your life that are gonna change you forever." And that's when he, within 2 years or a year, he did Liar Liar and his other The Mask and something else. His
Dumb and
3
Dumber.
biggest grossing films.
Dumb and
Yeah,
Dumber.
exactly. His 3
Wow.
biggest grossing films. And he literally talks about it like
That's crazy.
he talks about it in the Andy Kaufman documentary. But like when he's talking about it, when they're interviewing him on the side, he was just like, I felt like I owed this man like he method acted and did it. Like he's like, I felt like I owed this man the best way, because his family was on the set. And his family was crying because he reminded them so much of Andy Kaufman.
I heard about that.
Yeah. And it's just like,
he would pretend to be Andy.
he was
with
good.
his sisters and stuff. It was like pretty like
yeah.
sad, you know.
No, but well, either way,
People
it's
like
just,
Jim Carrey, when they jump into a role, they really put themselves into
100%.
it. Where they physically feel like they are that
100%.
person.
Well, do you see what
But
he
that's
did with
all-
Jerry Lawler? How like Jerry Lawler literally tried to like hurt him in real life because
Really?
of how bad he kept fucking
oh,
with Jerry
from
Lawler.
Andy Kaufman.
And, no, Andy Kaufman and Jerry, I guess they always were friends, but Jim Carrey tried to pretend to be Andy Kaufman and fuck with Jerry Lawler.
Oh yeah,
But
he's spitting Lawler's
Even
face.
Lawler's like, yo, me and Andy we
would
planned our
talk
shit.
about it.
Like,
We would
because
talk
Andy
about
Kaufman
it.
threw hot coffee in his face and he punched Andy in the face on like the Tonight Show live, and it was so it sold. It was awesome.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
legendary.
But-
because what Andy Kaufman did is he'd wrestle a different girl every week. He'd wrestle and from
Yes,
Memphis
yes,
Wrestling.
yes.
He'd wrestle a different
And
girl. So
I'm just
Jerry
saying,
Lawler.
I haven't even
No,
saw this.
no,
and
no,
it's
no, no.
hilarious.
So
But
Jerry
then-
Lawler tried to. So he tried to be like the knight in shining armor and save the day and wrestle Andy Kaufman. They had a little bit, but then Jim Carrey tried to pretend to be Andy Kaufman and he kept fucking with Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
And then he literally took the skit where he slams, he
And
slaps him, and he pretends he breaks his neck on purpose to like freak out Jerry Lawler. Like it was really
Who?
fucked up.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah, and then,
Yeah.
and then years later,
So he
years
literally
later, he
replayed
called,
what Andy Kaufman really did.
That's
Yeah.
you know?
crazy, dude.
Years later,
That's
he
crazy.
called Jerry Lawler and he sent him like a gift and he apologized about it. And Jerry Lawler's like, "Fuck you, I don't care." He's like, "You're a scumbag." He's
Wow.
like, "Yeah," and he's
Really?
like, "I'm never working with a guy
Really?
like you." Yeah, because he's like, me and Andy had a thing
Where
that
they would
we
talk about it.
Yeah,
They
but
they
you
would
just
discuss
fucking
it.
with me,
Yeah,
just to
yeah.
fuck with me. You
But
know
he
what
was,
I mean?
it was all about him method acting. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Jim
So
Carrey's
Jerry Lawler
great.
doesn't like Jim Carrey.
So anyway, so I would steal my brother's CDs, blah blah blah. That's how I got into comedy, and then I would always sneak downstairs because I was 8. I would sneak downstairs, and I remember like there was a rocking chair, and it was perfectly in the corner where I could hide and sit behind my brother. Like I would sneak there, sit behind my brother, and I would watch whatever he was watching, South Park, SNL, everything. So it's just like I'm sitting there watching, the Man Show, and I'm supposed to be in bed, and my mom's like away, she's upstairs, so it's like she's not paying attention to my teenage brother, and she doesn't know that I snuck downstairs, and I would just watch SNL and everything, and that got me. SNL was one of the biggest things because when I was watching SNL, it was
What era was that?
it was Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, yeah.
But
Chris
But
Kattan.
when I got into it, Chris Kattan, Will Ferrell. But when I
Yeah.
got into it, and I started watching the past stuff, and like
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley, all that. Because
Yeah.
I mean, you watch Tommy Boy, you have to go back and watch Chris Farley stuff.
Yeah.
And how can you not?
Do you remember? You remember
Adam
the bit?
Sandler.
You remember the bit down lives in a van,
down
by
the river. I just watched that.
So good,
I
dude.
just watched that because
So good.
the one lady was saying she's just like, I regret like they couldn't cut to her because she kept laughing.
Right.
And she was just like, I'll never forget like that moment where like he broke through the table. That was an accident. He
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
supposed
yeah. I
to
heard
go
about.
through the
Yeah, that's
table.
right. That's right.
So if you watch
That's funny as hell.
David Spade and Christina Applegate, the two kids,
The two kids, right?
are fucking cracking up.
They're
They're
dying,
holding their
yeah.
face. They're dying.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that was so funny.
Yeah. So and then it's just like, dude. And honestly, I would say that like, dude, SNL. I mean, from the get go, you got Chevy Chase, you got Bill Murray, you got all them, and then before that, Gilda Radner. You've got the original crew. But it's just like then I started getting into it and like researching how, if you ever watch A Strange and Futile Gesture, it's a movie on Netflix about how this pretty much what happened was this paper called the National Lampoons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that started out in Harvard. Like it was two guys that were like National Lampoon.
I always wonder what National Lampoons meant.
Yeah, so I don't know what it
They make those movies, too.
No, I don't know what it
Vacation.
means, but it means something. It's like I don't know. It's like
The
Fucking
Chevy Chase
Yeah.
vacation movies. That's
But-
National Lampoon.
Yeah. But the word, the phrase National Lampoon, I fucking want to look it up right now because it means something like important.
But you said
like,
it came from Harvard?
Yeah, it was.
That's interesting.
It was two guys that from Harvard that they wanted to write a magazine that had comedy that went. And dude, if you can find these magazines, they are like, dude, they go against everything. They got like the one cover was like a picture of a dog with a gun to its head, and like they had the one picture was like.
There, it just was. You just saw the dog.
Yeah, I know. National Lampoon, you're right, was started by Harvard graduates and alumni Doug Kenny, Henry Beard, and Robert Hoffman in 1969 when they first licensed Lampoon name for a monthly national publication. Hey, you're right. It was just a magazine at first.
Yeah.
And it just turned into this huge thing, dude. Exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Right?
So, okay, so... Oh, no, it does. Okay.
What were you about to say?
See, it's all saying, like, no, because they were saying, I don't know what it means, but it's something.
Oh, what it actually means?
What National
Who knows?
Lampoon means? No, but they talk about it in the movie.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, and, but either way, so, like, they started this, what they did was they started this magazine. And then while they started the magazine, they started this, comedy hour. So they started having people come into the studio, and they started to record a radio comedy hour with like Gilda Radner and like a couple of like the first SNL alumni, Jim Belushi and
Chevy Chase.
Yeah. So they started this comedy hour. Oh, the other guy, the guy that passed away, one of the Ghostbusters, the tall guy with the glasses.
Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
Oh,
Harold
yeah.
Ramis. Yeah. So he was part of like all that. So they started this comedy hour, and then from there, like somehow, I don't know what happened, what perspired, but somehow that comedy hour turned into SNL. I don't know if Lorne Michaels got a part of it. I don't know what like the real story is.
Yeah.
But that turned into SNL.
Wow.
Yeah. So it started
now it's the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah, which is literally one of the biggest things in the world.
Yeah.
But
That's
you
crazy.
know, but
you know, every big thing though has origins in somewhere, some small. Like Bill Gates was in a garage like this. You know what I'm saying? Everything has.
But like
somewhere.
it's crazy because one of the writers for they wrote two movies. They wrote I think they wrote Animal House and something else. So like once they started to like get a name for themselves, like I think they wrote it was like a couple movies. But the one guy, he's in like there's a scene where they're at like a fancy dinner. And like all the guys from National Lampoon like they're at the table like as a cameo, but like they're not like sweet. Just like it passes pans by them.
That's cool.
But one of those guys that was one of the main editors of the magazine, he went off on a mountain and he ended up like literally disappearing, and they think that he jumped off and killed himself.
Climbed a mountain?
No, he went on a hike. He told his friends that he was going on a hike. Like he disappeared. Like he went. And like he became a recluse, like he literally like disappeared for months, and then it was like
Dave Chappelle and went to Africa or something.
Yeah, kind of like that. But he disappeared, and then they found his stuff like on a cliff edge, and I don't know if they ever found his body, but
that
like,
also sounds like he disappeared. But also when you see someone's clothes on a cliff edge, it almost sounds like someone put clothes on a cliff edge to make you think they jumped off.
That's also what I was thinking. Maybe you just want to get away from
because if you
society,
fall,
whatever,
when you fall off a cliff, your clothes won't fall off.
The theory
and lay there.
is like that the guy died.
But if he never came back, he never came back.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It is what it is.
Yeah, but yeah, no. So I totally like was obsessed with SNL. And then, so that's pretty much where, as a kid, I was just always the class clown. Like, I don't know if you were in it, but like Battaglia, Farrah, all them, they were in my freshman class, and I
was in a few classes with you.
I did. Okay, so I did. Yeah,
science.
we were in anatomy when we had to do the frogs.
Science class.
Yeah, we were dissecting the frogs.
Joey Portera.
Portera was poking the brain and it squirted.
Yo, it was the gallbladder.
That
teacher. Yeah, you both were.
You were there too.
Mr. King.
Yeah, Mr. King, and he hated
some gum. Joey will know what that is.
Yo, Dave Hall was in that class. he hated he hated everyone that. Me too.
Dude, that class was legendary.
Anyone that because we were all comedians.
You
like,
know what he said to me one time?
Like,
you know what he said to me one
hilarious.
time? I go, can I use the water fountain? He goes, sure, go take your pills.
Yeah.
Yo, I remember that. Yo,
I go, what?
Yo,
I remember
the
it
fact
too.
that he
I
said
remember
that
it
to you,
too.
like, dude, that was so funny because I remember he was like mad that day.
Yeah.
And he was pissed at everyone, but it was like we had like 6 people.
He was a nice guy.
He was a great guy.
Yeah.
He was a great guy.
He was a nice guy.
He was
yeah.
a really nice guy.
I was a
We
dick.
were just a bunch of pricks.
I was such
we were
an
just a bunch of
asshole,
Yeah,
pricks.
so was I.
But we had 6 comedians in the class that all like Joey. Joey wasn't a comedian. Joey would just say shit, and it was fucking.
He
funny.
passed me though. I passed that class.
We used
yeah,
to
we all
play.
did.
We used
Yeah.
to play that game in that class.
I think he passed
remember?
us because
Remember
like
that
he just
game
wanted
we
to
would
get the hell.
play?
Like
Yeah.
we would count 1 for everybody. If you do something stupid,
Yeah,
you tally,
yeah,
You
yeah.
start counting.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you try to make everybody laugh, and everybody like, "That's 1, dude."
Yeah.
It just made you feel like shit,
Yeah,
you know, because
right?
you're like trying to be like funny. I remember like it was like me and Sam Giordano were at like some party somewhere in St. Bonaventure, and I was like, they turned the fans on, like, we're gonna wake up skeletons.
Yeah.
And it was just quiet, and he just goes, "Dude,
I'm
that's
definitely
one."
going to share this to the Kenmore West reunion page. 2007.
and me and Joe used to make up
that's
so
so
much
funny.
like inside jokes. Like I just mentioned the some gum thing, which I can't talk about obviously, but some gum. There was a thing we did in Mr. King's class, which is hilarious.
oh my gosh.
But there was
High
I
school.
caned believe that you're in
High
that
school.
class.
Yo,
That
we were
class
all in
is
that class.
Yeah,
That was a good
I
one.
don't remember
That was a
anything
good one.
except for me and Joey.
Were you in
That's-
advanced math? Weren't we in Gansey's class together for a minute?
I don't know. I don't think I ever did advanced math.
Yeah, I definitely didn't do
I
advanced
barely
math in
listen.
high
I
school.
barely graduated high school. I was
Okay.
really not.
I remember. I feel like I was in like a history class with you, or so. I was in something else with you. I know for a fact. Like we were in like 2 or 3.
I was
Yeah, I was in a
rarely
few
with
classes with
Neil.
you.
I was
Yeah, yeah,
rarely
yeah.
with Neil, but we were
But
with
that
each
was
other
the
a
one.
few
I can't
times.
believe they put you 2 motherfuckers in the same class. Like
Yeah.
it's like
It happened
you
a few
got,
times.
You got twins, and you're putting them in the same
We
class.
did-
You think they're
we-
not gonna get
we
in
both
trouble?
we both did culinary, so we were half the day together.
Oh,
Well,
my
you know what I
God.
did was I would just hang out with all the kids that were good at school in the
Oh,
back, and I would
bro.
just copy all their work.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh!
I
yo.
used to like be all business in that class because I'd be like, all right, who am I going to sit
Dude,
next
I
to?
hope-
Who am I
I
going to
hope-
copy?
I hope Mr. Metz never sees this, but I literally sat next to a kid who was like twice Mr. Bean's class. I don't know if you remember that
I
dude.
think I remember
Sophomore
him.
year, he was bald head.
Oh my
he was-
God!
he was
Yes,
kinda
history
He was
teacher.
kind of creepy.
He was weird.
was
He had some
super creep- like,
pervy vibes.
He would like put his hand on girls.
Yeah,
and,
he
like,
had
it was
some
it was
pervy
weird,
vibes.
but like. Anyways, like I
Dude.
hope Mr. Metz never sees this because Mr. Metz is fucking great. But like I took a World War II class. I love World War II history,
Me too,
right?
Me too.
But I got into it like obviously because my grandfather fought in World War II. You know,
So did ours. So did our grandfather.
Yeah, he got shot twice. Like I mean, rest in peace. But either way, so I took a World War II class for Mr. Metz, and I sat next to this kid, and this kid was just like the way he would talk in class. You're just like, this kid's a fucking genius.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Unfortunately,
I
I
sat
do.
next to him, and literally, I would copy every single one of his fucking.
Get in the mic.
I would copy every single one of his things
Yeah.
and switch up like 3. And I would get like a 96. This dude was getting hundreds. This dude was literally getting
You
hundreds.
were smart though by getting
Oh,
a couple wrong.
I
out.
can't.
Of course,
What do you
course.
mean? Of
Yeah.
course.
So
And,
listen,
I passed that class because of that kid. Literally.
Wow.
So I'm gonna
Shout him out real quick.
I'm gonna
just
make.
kidding.
I'm gonna
I don't
make,
know his name.
Hold on, I'm gonna make a
Greg
confession.
something.
I'm gonna make a confession really quick about high school too, and about a guest you actually had in the show, and that's Talia Rodriguez. And the only reason why I passed my Spanish exam was because I sat next to you, Talia. So
That's awesome.
thank you
It's
for
not
that. And
awesome.
she had no
I mean, it's
clue.
not awesome.
That's funny.
She
I do
like
not-
guarded.
hey,
she
any
guarded.
children-
She was a garter. She was like,
Hey,
no one's
listen.
getting my shit.
She was a
Listen,
garter.
She was a garter, and I still had the peep. I just had that little peep going. So thank you, Talia. You're gonna be pretty upset when you hear
Yes,
this.
Thank you, all you smart people. But
But
I would
I
like to
passed
also say,
freshman in
as a
Spanish.
disclaimer, children out there watching,
Don't do it.
I'd promote you not to cheat because personally like regret not reading the books the teachers told us to,
No,
not
for real.
listening to my teachers.
You
Like
know,
I
'cause
look back at it and then I find some of the stuff that they were just
Yeah.
like telling us.
It's
to get
actually
into.
worse. It's actually worse to pass and not know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
I know,
Yeah.
Because now you're expected to know
Dude,
that stuff.
bro.
So let's say for example you cheat your way through college and you get a bachelor's degree or a master's degree and you don't know
Then
any
what?
of it.
Then
Then
what?
you get hired.
Yeah, then
They're
what?
like, oh, so you're an expert.
Can't
Yeah,
cheat.
You got a
exactly.
higher degree than me. Let's see what you
Oh,
know.
yeah,
And you don't know
exactly.
anything. Now
So
you're fucked.
now being in college and being 31 years old and being at like a private school like Madai, which
You're 31.
I'm 31, yeah.
Wow,
which
I'm
is
21. That's crazy.
well, being at a private school like Madai and you see like some of the younger like kids and they just don't care about school at all, and it's like I know that was me, but at the same time I'm just like like just do good. You're paying $20,000 a year to be here.
That's 100% what I would say.
It's
just
cool
like,
to do good. You're not going to want to be 31.
Community college
be
is BS because I literally took classes in community college that I took in high school.
We went to N Trip together
yeah,
too. Yeah,
I literally all my BS classes, math, all that. Like, first of all, I'm not going to go to community college to take advanced math. Why the hell would I do that?
Yeah.
But it's just like I would go and take math, like the stuff that you have to pass, like your elective BS.
Mm-hmm.
And I would take math, and it was literally stuff I did sophomore year because I was in advanced math. So college for me was like a breeze. I took chemistry. That was an advanced class. Like, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, man. Knowing
Chemistry
math is so
with
huge.
Mr. Vulcan or Mr. something, but I don't know. It was
math.
either way.
Math is easy, but like weird math, like survey of math. I don't know if you ever took that shit. It's like just symbols and stuff. There's no
Trigonometry
numbers
can
at
get
all.
tough.
Yeah.
That's when
Calculus
math
can
gets
get
weird
hard
for me.
too.
Like survey of math. I
Yeah.
mean, even I can do trig. I can do like stuff that actually has like numbers, you know, but like just symbols and
That's math, though. That's part of
that's
math.
true. That's true.
That's been math for
I
thousands of
struggle
years
with
since
that
the
stuff.
Greeks.
Yeah.
The Greeks started all
The
that.
subset of a
honestly, I
Braces.
think I'm just gonna go and get that. Well, once it's available, I'm gonna get that Musk chip, the brain chip.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna
Become
get
a
that.
cyborg.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get that chip, and I'm just gonna like load like rocket, like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be like,
Rocket
hey,
science.
exactly. I'm gonna be like, hey, what's up, Elon? Give me a job, like.
I know everything.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna upload like the whole internet to my. Yeah,
That's crazy.
that'd be nuts.
Yo,
Because
can you imagine if that actually happens one
yeah,
day?
we
though?
talked about
dude,
that.
it's
conspiracy
a real
theories.
thing. Like that's.
No, I'm saying like if it's like common, like everybody.
Dude, think
has
about
them.
it. That's just like, oh yeah. But think about that. That's just like that movie, Gamer, where
Yeah.
Jared Butler has a chip in his head.
I've never
like,
seen Gamer.
oh my
Jared
gosh,
Butler.
it
I've
is
never
literally.
seen it.
You've seen it?
I've heard of it. No.
Oh, dude,
I've
it's
never
literally
seen
like
Gamer
so.
with
It's like
Jared Butler.
literally it's convicts, and they have these chips in their head, and literally they're controlled by kids. Or like literal gamers.
Wow.
But it was super scientific. It was super like sci-fi.
Yeah.
But either way, it's like
Watch
so
it.
this
Gamer,
kid's
starring Gerard Butler.
laying
Watch it.
yeah, this kid's laying on his bed, and he's just like swiping through stuff, and he's just like, you know what I mean? No, he's just swiping through stuff like, buying like, upgrades and all this. It's like super advanced
Is
Call
there like
of Duty.
some guy in a prison like getting upgrades?
No.
He's like upgrading him and
no,
stuff.
he's in jail, and then he goes to like his locker, and his locker has all the upgrades in it.
Oh
So
shit!
then they go out, and they're real people, but there's also other people that go into it because they're broke. So there's like pedestrians. So it's just like there's people flying through with like all these like it's literally like a Call of Duty with like trucks and whatever.
Butler.
Yeah, it's crazy. But these people are real, and like these like he was like the #1 gamer, and this dude won like 30 in a row, and like they
Was
did
he
all.
Gerard Butler? Is that
Gerard
who he
Butler,
was?
yeah,
it's
exactly.
got to be who it is.
Yeah,
you
and then
know?
he ends up like breaking free because like he got like whatever happened, like it was
Of course, Gerard
not
Butler.
his fault, and then
fucking Leonidas.
he runs away and like finds his wife and kid and whatever. But it's just like that's literally what it was he had a chip in his head,
That's crazy.
and the kid controlled his movement literally by like playing Call of Duty, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So,
Dude,
but-
these kids right now though with these cell phones, man, growing up, like, we grew up
oh my gosh,
and we got to become almost adults,
yeah.
when phones started to become normal. Everyone
Yeah,
had
yeah,
one,
yeah.
so we know what it's like to actually have to
Dude,
like use landlines and
what's-
stuff. But these
yo,
kids are born into
you
it,
know what's
and they have
crazy?
the access
You
to
know
the
what's
world
crazy
right
to
there.
this? And it's a little weird, is my dad just told me this, that Generation Z, all these kids with these everything in their fingertips are so what's it called? Like they're so
Advanced,
desensitized
desensitized. Yeah.
to
Oh.
porn.
Yep.
That it's causing them to have erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, exactly.
Children.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, could you imagine? Actually, could you imagine this? Like, you're a kid that grew up with porn his whole
Literally,
life.
exactly.
The first time you have sex, all right, you're gonna be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, you're my stepsister, okay?" And you're gonna punch me in the face. and then I want my friend to come in.
Yeah,
I want him-
exactly. Yeah,
So
exactly.
like, what are their perceptions?
Yeah, what's
of
their
porn?
perceptions of porn? It's
Yeah.
just like, you know what I mean?
Like the basic sex is
Yeah,
gonna bore
it's like,
them.
Is
you
there
know?
is that where these kids is that where these young
You know,
kids are getting the idea of
you
like,
ever heard
hey,
of-
it's okay to gang rape a girl?
You ever
Like,
heard
what
of
the
Dr.
fuck?
Jordan Peterson?
No.
He's just some intellectual dude out there, writes books, and he makes the case for like, because we at our generation and like even just this like century, we kind of push back on the old ways of like, you know, the old Christian conservative thought process, and he makes the argument that's like, what if they came up with these ideas because they tried so many different things for thousands of years, and they knew like, dude, we have to find a way to get people to be like, conform. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's good to not
religion in general.
no,
or-
not even just religion, just the philosophy behind it all.
Okay.
It's like you know, and I'm not making a case for it to tell everyone what to do, but it's like, what if it is actually good to restrain from things for a while until you get married? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, can you imagine how great that would feel the first time?
My
Like,
parents.
It would not
you know?
though. It would just be like, and it'd be over.
it'd be done in 2
It wouldn't be
seconds.
some magical experience.
I
Let's
don't
be
know.
real
I'm
here.
just throwing
Well,
stuff
no,
out
I'm
there.
If
just
you
saying-
waited until you got me, I always think about that too.
All
Like the
I'm
lovely
saying
couple, they get
Yeah.
together. You know,
All
they're gonna
I'm
have this
saying is-
wonderful night,
Yeah.
and you know it's gonna be
All
not
I'm-
that wonderful.
It
It's
is.
gonna
It
be
is.
a
But all I'm
split
saying
second.
is I am not that person.
Yeah, no, I know.
But both my sister and my mother were virgins when they got married.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Wow.
great for them. Which
Yeah.
is like,
That's
you
what
know
I'm saying. Like,
But it was their beliefs, and it was what my sister was raised on, and I was a rebel, so of course I fucked everything that
Could
moved.
you imagine just
You
that's
know?
the only reason
Exactly, you know,
is
I'm
to
a-
make
I'm-
babies?
I'm
Is
in
the
high
only reason why
school,
you had
like-
sex? Like,
Yeah,
could you imagine that?
but you know what though?
Typho.
But
how
we
many
just
babies
said,
I
but we
have
were
that
just
I-
talking about how these kids are desensitized from all this porn they watch. They can't even
yeah.
do it now.
Yeah.
They can't even do it
Oh,
now.
yeah, I know.
I mean,
But-
could you imagine what it's like?
I don't know. I'm just
You know,
throwing out
probably-
I'm throwing out two
probably
extremes.
got to make
I mean,
shit
yeah,
exciting.
exactly.
That's
Which
all
is
I'm
maybe
saying.
better because then there's less Gen Z children's children.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe-
let's just,
maybe
alright,
that's part
let's,
of-
let's look
like,
at this as
I probably have like 5 kids that I don't know about. I mean, personally. Well, I know I have 2 that I can't see, but that's legal. No,
Let's,
you know.
yeah, but
I'm
let's
just
let's be
kidding.
real here. Like, to be completely honest about like the whole subject of like extreme and porn and stuff, it isn't a good thing. It's not going to be a good
No.
thing. It sex obviously to some people isn't as important,
Oh yeah, 100%.
and some people cherish sex as something that you
As some-
hold on
yeah,
to
exactly.
in marriage, but
Oh yeah. But then you got these kids that are coming in and they're just like, this is what sex is.
so it is unfortunate. It is
is
going to make their
100%
experience
unfortunate.
worse when they're like, "Hey, you pretend to be my
But
fucking stepsister."
Not only is it with porn, but it's just like it's also.
I feel
with-
bad for the young women, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Because what the fuck? They have so much they have to,
Yeah, young women and
Fill in, I
women
guess.
in general. Are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't really say too much, but
no, I'm just saying, like, women have to deal with so much more bullshit than men.
Yeah.
So much
I mean,
more.
yeah,
That's a
they
fact.
bleed.
When's the last time a girl sent an unsolicited vagina pic? You think it's ever been done?
I don't
like,
know.
You think
I
it-
wouldn't want it. I
That's
don't
what I'm
want that.
saying. Like but
Vagina by itself, not for me.
By itself.
a vagina by itself. But you know what I'm saying?
No, I
That's
know,
from
yeah.
Superbad,
You know what
by
I'm
the way.
saying?
I just stole that joke right there. We talked
Yeah,
about
right?
stealing
Yeah,
jokes.
yeah, yeah.
I literally stole that,
But
and it
still,
sounded
it's
like
just
I
like-
made it up.
I've
but
like even
everyone's
like
seen Superbad.
if you go on Tinder and it's just like literally like Tinder for me is entertainment because it's like you talk to all these people and like no one wants to hang out, quarantine, blah blah blah.
dude, I got some
and
vicious.
and it's
Tinder
just like you
site
hear these stories like where these girls tell you, I'm like they'll just be like talking and bring up like, oh, whatever. And I'm just like, what's your worst Tinder story? Like literally.
Let's
and then I
hear it.
got this girl, I didn't know, I don't remember. But there's this girl, she's like, I'm writing a book on literally
I got one.
the awkward situations that guys have
I got a
like
great one.
just crazy shit that dudes have said or whatever. Like it's just like
I bet you can write multiple books on that.
but I'm just
That's
saying, like,
interesting.
in my
Dude,
thought,
I
though, is
honestly
just, like,
never
so
really
many
messed
girls,
around with Tinder
so
just
many,
a little bit.
So many girls talk about like getting unsolicited dick pics. What dude is like gonna just send a picture to a stranger of his dick, and the girl's just gonna be like, "Your dick is so cute, I'm gonna fuck you right now." You know what I'm saying?
It's
though?
probably never happened.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Zero.
it's so
No,
and
it's
yo,
never happened.
exactly.
Nobody wants a dick in
But
their
then,
phone.
but then it's just like you got those guys that are just like, listen, if I take 10 shots, one of the 10's gonna come home with me, and it's just like
Analytics, I
bro.
guess.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Well, so you could actually break down Tinder and analytics if you really wanted.
Yeah, but it's just like, do I want to get rejected 9 times to have sex with someone just because I'm a, just like because I'm a scumbag? Like
Right,
I don't
yeah.
know. Like I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I have some bad Tinder stories.
I couldn't. I went on one Tinder date before,
Bro.
and it was great.
Oh my gosh.
We hung out for like a couple months. You know what I mean? It worked out. It was actually pretty cool, but I couldn't. The process was so
Taxing?
anxious.
Taxing?
It was so weird.
How much did it cost you?
Oh, we went to I don't know. We went
You cheap
a couple
motherfucker.
different places.
They split the
But
bill.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, the whole process of Tinder
He got a
is
coffee.
so
He's like, hey, you
weird.
got a couple. Yes.
Is it not?
Yeah,
No,
so
it's not
hold
the
on. Let
weirdest-
me
yeah,
let me
yeah,
let me
yeah.
just
Tell
tell
your
let me
story,
tell my
tell your story.
Tinder story really quick, okay? So I have a lot of experience on Tinder, unfortunately, and none of it's gone well.
I don't.
But I've heard a lot of great stories. People like my cousin Andrew met his girlfriend. They have a lovely girlfriend. They have a great life. I hear all these excellent success
They're
stories.
married.
Well, my story went like this. I met this girl at the same spot coffee I met every girl on Tinder because I take them to the exact same
That's some
place.
serial killer shit.
Whatever. It is what it is. It's cheap, and I would just get coffee,
No,
whatever.
no, yeah.
So I'm talking to this girl.
I'm
and-
cheap.
Yeah, so whatever, dude. It's the first
No,
time you're meeting
fuck it.
somebody.
I'm messing with you, yeah.
So I meet this girl, and she starts telling me that she's into taxidermy and stuffing dead animals
That's
that she
awesome.
finds on the side of the road.
That's awesome.
She also tells me that she likes
That's actually
to
messed
write
up. Dead
poetry.
animals, that's weird.
Yeah, she likes to collect dead animals
I
off
thought
the
when you
side
said-
of the
When you
road.
said taxidermy, I thought you meant like she's into taxidermy. I didn't think you
No,
meant
no,
like
no.
dead
I
animals.
mean, she picks
Wow.
up dead animals.
That's weird.
So it
That
gets
is
even
crazy.
more weird. It gets even more weird. So
Continue.
she tells me that she enjoys to write poetry in cemeteries. Okay. So I'm like, the whole time this whole date's going on, she's literally telling me about the dead animal she picked up, like the day of. The day of, she told me about a dead animal she picked up. Okay. So I'm trying to get out of it the entire time. I'm thinking of all these things, like trying to, make this like a nice exit. And this is when I smoked, by the way. I don't smoke anymore. I smoked a little vape thing. She goes, "Oh, by the way, do you smoke?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, that's a deal breaker for me. I can't do this."
What cigarettes?
I was like, "What? Me?"
Cigarettes or-
I was like, "I'm a deal breaker for you, crazy fucking lady with the cemetery." My ego got hurt so bad. In the middle of Spot Coffee, I'm screaming at this girl, like, "Fuck you!"
You said
like,
that to her. Fuck you.
Yeah, I was like, you like to pick up dead animals.
Yeah,
I'm not
right,
good
you
enough for you because I
crazy.
smoke. And of course, it was just an all ego thing,
Yeah.
Like it was just like me being like, "Oh,
100%.
she didn't want me."
Yeah.
But like,
You should have went to the cemetery and did poetry.
yeah, I mean,
You should have went.
Hey.
You should have collected dead animals with
You
it.
should have quit smoking, bro.
You should have quit smoking.
I
should've
should've-
quit-
I quit right now. I
Yo,
quit.
if you
Yeah.
quit smoking right now, you be stuffing dead animals.
So listen,
Oh,
one
my
more
God.
quick one too. I went on another one
Oh,
with
here he
this girl.
goes.
Oh, actually, I don't know if I
The
can
lady-
tell this.
yeah,
one,
don't
'cause
tell
she
her.
might be watching.
Yeah,
it.
she's
Whatever. I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
Do it.
So I go on this other one with this girl, and
she
listen,
might be watching.
I'm trying to find out your favorite color. Okay, I'm not trying to tell your life,
Yeah.
your actual life, like your life, like
Yeah.
real important stuff.
Yeah.
She tells me that she found her mom who disowned her as a kid, and she was a male now who was a Nazi.
What?
And I'm just
Oh,
like,
what do you
yeah.
mean?
So
Real
Wait,
Nazi?
whoa,
Yeah,
real Nazi.
She led with that.
she led with this.
I'm a Nazi.
So I'm like, what's your favorite color? Thinking in my mind, like, is it orange?
she's like, I'm a
And
Nazi.
She tells me that she found her mother, who's a guy now, and she started crying too. By the way, she started to cry about it.
Wait, did you meet her?
In Spot Coffee,
Oh,
the same place.
And she told you she was Nazi.
No, she told me that her
This is
mother, who turned into a dude, was a Nazi. So I right away called the emergency numbers, had my friends come and stuff,
Yeah,
pretend
yeah,
like there was
yeah,
like
yeah.
some sort of accident.
Yeah, you're just
Actually,
like,
me and Mikey Christopher used to have this
something
thing
came
where I
up,
would text
Mikey
him something.
Christopher.
I would text him, and he
Girls
would
do-
immediately
yo,
call
girls-
me.
girls do
Let
this-
me get it out, Steve.
girls
Let
do the
me
same
get this
shit.
out. Let me just try to get this out. He would literally call me back and say, "My girlfriend kicked me out. All my stuff's on the lawn. You need to come get me. You owe me. You remember you owe me." And I'd be like, "Oh no, I
Yeah.
gotta go. It sucks."
That's total chick move.
Yeah,
That's a total chick move.
We would text each other. I forgot what the word was. It was like something stupid.
Yeah, you'd be like,
What, code word?
Yeah, it's it's
yeah.
Mikey
You'd be like
Christopher.
applesauce.
Wait, so
and then all of a sudden he's
back
like,
up
bro.
for a second. What did she say? Her mom turned into a boy?
She
A
said
man?
that she was on a
Mom.
journey to find her mother, who disowned her as a kid, which was really sad. And it was a
Okay.
really heartwarming
Okay,
story.
and then what?
She said she found her mother, and they turned into a male, and that they are a skinhead Nazi now. and that's how they live their
Whoa,
life.
that's weird.
And I'm just like, that's a lot.
It's like
I
a
mean,
progressive Nazi in a
that's
way,
like,
though.
That's
Like
like the first month you say that. You don't say that on the first whim. You know what I mean? It's not the first thing you say.
No,
and
that's
she was an
weird.
attractive girl. She was cute. You know, it just kind of turned me off a little too much.
That's like
crazy.
being like, hey,
little
what's
too
up?
much.
Just so you know, my grandfather's a Nazi, my dad's a racist, my
Yeah.
whole family. It's like.
But come over for Thanksgiving dinner, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm out.
Hold on. I think she was a Nazi that like changed her ways and was a born again. Or
She's
something.
a born again.
Whatever it was.
Oh, she was a born again Nazi.
Whatever it was.
Hey, I have
Whatever
never.
it was.
This
it
is the
was
first
too much.
time.
It's
This is
getting
the
even crazier.
This is
It
the
was
first
too
time I've
much.
ever heard of a born again Nazi.
Nazi.
So
Right?
yeah,
It's
so
just-
I go on a date with a born again Nazi and a girl who likes to pick up dead animals.
Oh,
and then
my
my
gosh.
cousin meets this beautiful girl who's intelligent and they have this wonderful relationship. They're probably gonna get married.
Well, he's in Brooklyn though, so he's got
Wait.
the pond there is a lot bigger than the pond over
Wait,
here.
Yeah,
You
it's
said
true.
your cousin?
I gave up on the dating.
You said
apps.
your cousin? Your cousin married the dead animal girl?
No.
Yo,
No.
that's nothing compared to my Tinder story. My Tinder story was literally like it was a month ago, and I'm talking to this girl. We're like for a week we're vibing hard. Like she's just like texting me all day. Like it was a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she was texting me, so I was like, whatever. Like, okay, I'll text you back. Like you never want to like blow a girl up, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So everything's going great for a fucking week. And then all of a sudden I got plans and she's just like, yo, let's go see the sunset and then we'll go out to dinner and like
All right.
we were gonna do the works. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Sunset, too.
I had cash on me, like I was gonna try to, take her out somewhere nice, maybe go get a drink. I don't drink, but like, whatever. So it was gonna take her out and then I go meet her and she's just like, hey, work sucked. Like, can you just come here, grab a bottle of wine? So I like grab a bottle of wine, go to her house, and literally I'm hanging out at her house. And she's got a live YouTube show because she's super into like trance music and all this other shit.
Wait, she was going live?
No.
She's
She
watching
was
it.
Watching a live
Okay.
show. So we're sitting on the couch, and right away she tells me to bring over a bottle of wine because she has no wine. First thing I do, I get there and I look on a rack, and there's 6 bottles of wine on display, and I'm just like, "Why'd you tell me to buy?"
Oh no. I already
Yeah,
know where
right.
this is
She
going.
played me, right?
Yeah.
So then I get there and literally like she's playing this live show and I am sitting down next to her and we're talking for like an hour, but she doesn't turn down the show.
Yeah.
So we're screaming. We're literally this far apart and we're just like screaming. Within like 10 minutes after that little bit, she starts to doze off. Fucking falls asleep on me. So
What
me,
the heck?
yeah, girl falls asleep on me, like literally, and
With the music blasting?
with the music blasting, falls asleep.
Was it late?
Flag.
No, it was bro.
few
I
red flags
I think I
there.
left at her house. I think I left her house at like 11:45.
Wow.
Yes, like we met up at 7, hung out for like a couple hours.
Was she using glow sticks or something?
No,
or-
she.
Was
There's
she-
It's a long day
did
at
she-
work.
Did she have a thing going?
No,
Did she
she. Well, I mean, I don't know.
What's
Her
the- yeah, whatever.
her theory is she literally just got a medical marijuana card,
Okay.
and she didn't smoke. So she was like, "I'm going to pick up my script." Spent a couple $100 on all this like killer weed, and then dab pen, whatever.
Yeah.
And so she was smoking it, and like I think that's what knocked her out. But still, it's just like. You know what I mean? It's like this girl doesn't smoke. You're on like a Tinder date, and this girl just falls asleep on me.
Wow.
And then she's just like, "Sorry about last night. Like maybe we can grab lunch in a couple of days." And I was just like, "Yeah, totally." And then just like never
That's
hit
it.
her up again. I was just
That's
like,
crazy.
"Yeah, screw you." Like
Whatever.
no, exactly. But I was just like,
we can
I mean,
definitely write books on Tinder dates.
Oh,
I
yeah.
bet you it would be
Yeah.
so
I have
compelling and
many.
so
But that's why
interesting.
I'm like
many.
so I'm.
That
I
was
don't know.
just
I'm
two out of the
so.
hat.
I don't want to go. I like
Yeah.
just because of that. It's just like I don't want to
Too
go on a
much.
Tinder date.
It's
It's
too
just
weird.
like I don't want to put effort into all this stuff to like. I want to go out and meet someone in public
The real
and
way.
then create a relationship.
Yeah, that's how you
know
gotta-
what I
that's the
mean?
best
But
way to
you
do it.
can't
But
do
you
that right
can't.
now.
Yeah,
No.
you
It
can't
sucks.
do that.
We're
Yeah.
all
Do
on
that
we're all
right
on Holt right now.
And
so.
if you are talking to someone, you're talking with a mask. You can't see each other's facial
yeah.
expressions.
Imagine trying to
It's-
kiss someone with a mask on.
Yeah, right. Oh, I've done it. You know.
It's funny as hell. But dude, yeah, we're already way over, Brandon. This was fucking flew by, dude.
Yeah, good stuff.
But
Good
before
stuff.
we close out, I wanna. Do you got anything you want to promote? You got anything going on, like in the future wise?
I mean, so like right now, we're so right now I mean I'm in the midst of it, but so what I'm doing is I'm building. I have my own production company. I've done stuff for years for people down the line and gotten ripped off for years. But so what I'm pretty much doing is I'm trying to create just like a crew of people that are like-minded, that want to edit and do stuff like that, and just, you know, I'm just trying to create like a crew of like 10 people just to like work on stuff, edit, film.
Right.
And
cool.
so I have my own green screen in my garage, which is literally probably the same size as this setup. It's big. Like I was looking in information, and like green screens in LA are 10 by 10. Mine's like 30 by 15.
You got a giant. You can do a lot of stuff.
Oh, I can do.
You can make Star Wars in there.
Well, the right side is to build like corner sets. And then the left side has the curve, so it's going to be the actual green screen.
That's sick.
And then up in my attic, I'm redoing my attic to do a recording studio.
Everybody follow this man on Facebook, Twitter. What is it? What's your biggest one?
I mean, I guess Facebook.
Facebook.
Like,
follow this man on Facebook.
I mean, or Instagram. It's Signature Productions Buffalo.
All right, I'll throw a link in the description.
Yeah, but
link in the description.
Yeah. So either way, like, so I did a job for my boss, and it was awesome, and literally he gave it to the person who is like the rich person who was running the event.
Yeah.
She then gave it to CBS. They chopped up my footage, took out my name, and I got 40 seconds of my 120-second promo video was on CBS.
And they took credit.
My boss hits me up and he's just like, yo, aren't you happy? You just got it on CBS? And I'm like,
where's
my
credit?
What are you talking about? And he's just like, check it out. He shows me. I'm like, bro, my name's not in it. And
There's
he's
nothing.
just like, bro, but you're on CBS. And I'm just like, yeah,
that's
but
crazy.
I have no, there's no name.
Yeah, you got no credibility
I got
from
no
that.
credit,
That's crazy, man.
That either way, like,
but at least you got the skills down. And
I mean, dude, I've been doing video.
You and I need to start doing some work together.
Oh yeah,
man.
for
I'm
sure.
sure.
I've been doing video for years, and it's just I've been writing for years, so. Like,
I would love to keep you on here once a week, man, if you could.
Yeah, dude.
I want to bring different guests on.
I'm definitely.
You can pick apart their brain, you know.
I'm definitely down to come on for sure, cause
man.
I don't know. I like having good conversation.
Yeah. There's nothing better. I mean, that's like, especially right now during COVID. It's like this is the time everybody needs to sit down and talk to each other and stop hating each other over little politics and bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, let's joke around and have some fun.
But that's either way. Like that's what I'm trying to do is like I'm trying to get a crew of people together that want to be a part of it. Like literally, like anyone. Like if you watch this, you know, and you want to be in a skit, a video, or whatever, you just want to. Literally, you could use it as if you're an actor. You can use it as your part of your film reel.
And I want to help local Buffalo businesses advertise and stuff, and let's band together. Let's band together and make this thing work.
I linked up with a local graphic designer. I linked up with 2 local editors. I found people, you know, people that are local musicians or record recording artists that like people were telling me like, yeah, dude, come over. And I was like, dude, can I come work for you for a day for free? And he's just like, yeah, just to teach me how to record music. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, but yeah, so my personal thing is I'm just trying to get a crew together of just whoever wants to do stuff for fun and just film whatever. And then just
come up with ideas.
Just try to like grow from there as a crew.
Let's do it.
Because I personally feel like no one is just like repping Buffalo. So it's just like if it blows up, it's just like I want to bring it to this city.
Yeah.
And my mom's
Nickel
just
City.
Like, yeah, and my mom's just like, "Oh, why don't you go work for the production like they're building a film studio in Buffalo." It's like, "Why don't you go work for them?" I was like, "Why would I work for them when I've filmed my whole life and I want to start my own production company?
Why would I
go work for the man?"
Yeah, exactly. We can do it ourselves.
Yeah.
We can do exactly what they're doing and do it better.
Oh, dude, and I've got the space, I've got the setup. I just got to finish. I have 75% of the equipment.
Yeah.
I have so many tripods, so many lights, just like you. You know what I'm saying? So
let's do it, man.
Yeah, so
yeah, listen, stay tuned for that. And Nickel City Chronicles, we thank you for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe, whatever you got.
a preacher.
Yes.
You know. And he was a preacher.
Yes.
You know.